What's up guys, BltzZ today bringing you another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about two amazing builds that you have to try out with Barret. One is a melee beast mode knock everything down in front of you build, while the other is a crit based range build. Both will have similar playstyles and setups, but I just wanted to really showcase that this style can be executed from melee and range positions. Barret has quickly become my second favorite and possibly favorite melee character to play as, completely jumping over Cloud. I highly doubt he could ever replace my love for Tifa, but I mean, those eyes are just... Alright, let me stop. We've covered most of these aspects in Barret's advanced combat guide, but I just wanted to add another layer to this build that can really stand out and make you live forever, basically. Let me know what you guys think of this build in the comments below. Remember, make each build your own. You don't have to use the same exact one I showcased, but spice it up a bit and add your twist to it. Comment below what you've added to this build and how do you like it. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new. You won't want to miss any more of these builds that we have coming out. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The melee weapon we're going to be talking about is the Wrecking Ball. This is the second melee weapon that Barret can use. The other is the Steel Pincers. Steel Pincers are my preferred option because they offer more magic attack damage, which could provide a more flexible build. But for this video, we're specifically going to be talking about the Wrecking Ball because of a few key skills that it has. However, both of these are powerhouse of weapons to use on Barret. The Chain Bangle is the armor that we're going to be using. Whenever Aerith is not in the party, we like to slap this on Barret, and more defense on Barret is just amazing to have, as well as 4 materia slots. Now for the accessory, we're going to be using the Fury Ring. Fury Ring increases how much damage you deal as well as how much damage you receive. But with Barret's defense, this won't hurt us as much, and that damage is key when it comes to healing back a lot of our health. Feel free to use the Champion's Belt or the Supernatural Wrist Guards to increase Barret's health and strength if you don't want to use the Fury Ring. When it comes to the materia, we have HP Absorb attached to my favorite materia in the game, Enemy Skill. I honestly believe Enemy Skill is the best materia in the game that is not a utility, and slapping HP Absorb on it gives us the greatest combination in the entire game. Algid Aura is the ability we will be using from Enemy Skill combined with HP Absorb to heal back a lot of health. For more information on Enemy Skill and how to get more abilities, be sure to check out the video on the top right. This weapon doesn't offer much magic attack stats, so we're using 2 magic up materias. This is not so that we can cast spells, but enemy skills attacks are magic based, so the higher the magic stat, the more damage it will deal. And because of HP Absorb, the more damage that it will deal, the more health we receive. Very solid options to include on this weapon. First strike material we have so that we can start off battle going into Steel Skin. Steel Skin is important as it reduces the amount of damage we take and how much we are interrupted while attacking. HP up material so that we can have a high amount of health for Barret, which is very useful for living longer, especially on hard mode. And surprisingly, we have another HP Absorb as well. This time it's attached to Deadly Dodge. This combination is amazing on any of the characters in the game, but on Barret it does crazy damage and heals more health overall. Barret literally does, wait for it, a Barret roll. He spins about 3 times, hitting the enemies 4 times extra. You can cancel his moves into this as well if you need to heal from HP Absorb. ATB Stagger I love on Barret because we will be staggering lots of enemies, and gaining ATB off of that will help us live longer. We have the Prayer materia on because Barret will build a lot of ATB while using this build, so you can use Prayer often to heal yourself and party members if needed. And finally, we have the Bahamut materia on so that we gain 4 more magic attack and regular attack stats. Now for the reason why we're using the Wrecking Ball. Right off the bat, core number 1 seems like nothing special from Wrecking Ball outside of attack damage increases and ATB charge rate. Core number 2, we have a buff increase as well as increased damage to enemy limbs and defense while blocking. But in core number 3, we have big things added for us. We have Bloodsucker, which when you kill an enemy, you are healed back slightly, and in addition to that, we have Stagger Siphon, which also heals us back for striking enemies who are staggered. Amazing combinations for this weapon and the materia that we have selected. This will make sure that Barret won't die that easily. Not to mention, we also have an ability increase of crit hit rate by 10%. The final core offers MP regeneration, which is cool, but we won't be casting magic spells. However, we also can get Reprieve, which helps us from dying 1 time per each battle, which is amazing for this weapon build that we're going for. For the weapon shortcuts, this is what I have selected. Focus shot first so that when enemies are pressured, we can stagger them easily. We have Steel Skin here so that we can quickly activate it thanks to First Strike. We also have Smackdown for an AoE Get Off Me move that can launch and pressure enemies quickly. And Algid Aura for enemy skill is in here so that we can quick cast it whenever needed. Our limit break is Catastrophe, which is Barret's second limit break, which you can unlock from completing the Coliseum. These inputs feel natural to me, but feel free to setting these up however you like. When it comes to battles, we want to start off with Steel Skin and then build ATB to launch Algid Aura next. After that, we can actually use Overrun to knock down enemies and keep stacking up ATB. Right here, I'd either use an ability like Smackdown, or I'll even deadly dodge away to gain some heals off of the next enemy. It's also good to save ATB for prey whenever teammates need the heals, so watch out for that. Algidora lasts a very long time, so don't feel the need to recast it during most encounters. You will almost never need to recast Algidora unless you are in a boss fight lasting over 2 minutes. Pay attention to Barret's health during these video segments. It rarely goes down, and if it does, it's healed back super quickly either from Algidora or the Bloodsucker ability on this weapon. Those two combined make quick work against trash mobs, especially on hard mode. This combination is not exclusive to Barret, you can use it on any other character as well. It's just because Barret has Steel Skin, it makes this strategy much more fun because he won't be interrupted as much during his attacks. Being able to use enemy skills makes Barret a blue mage, which is my favorite mage from all of Final Fantasy. There's just something about using an enemy's skills against them at no cost to MP that just feels amazing. In the original Final Fantasy VII, it was also one of my favorite materias to use too, so I'm excited to see how amazing it will be when we finally get access to a full list of materia, or we can get more options in the open world during Remake Part 2. Currently in this game, we can only get 4 enemy skills, which is understandable since we are only in Midgar. The open world should and will host a whole bunch of new enemies and unique ones that we have yet to come across. For those of you guys that are new to Final Fantasy VII, I can't wait for you guys to experience this as it will blow your mind. When it comes to gameplay, the best aspect of Final Fantasy VII is of course the materia system. You can build so many different options for your teams and make characters play differently. Of course they all have their strengths, which are much more preferred, but it's great to see that we do have options and can switch things up and play characters in various ways. Adding Deadly Dodge and pairing it with HP Absorb to Barret makes his gameplay even better. He can feel pretty slow at times, but being able to dodge roll into his attacks that start up quickly and also hit hard speed up his gameplay. Also, being able to heal while Barret rolling, then healing from killing that same enemy, while also healing from Algidora is just insane. This build focuses fully on mailing enemies down and staying in their face. No need to worry about magic spells or MP, you can just use Prey whenever you need to heal teammates or yourself. During this entire encounter, Barret was able to maintain a great amount of health while also dealing insane damage. This build is very fun for those of you guys who don't like to switch characters that often in battle. However, things don't always work out perfectly. Right here, I get absolutely shredded by all the enemies focusing me at once. My health goes beyond the red and I almost die right here. But thanks to blocking, the combination of Steel Skin, Overrun, Algidora, and Deadly Dodge with HP Absorb watches Barret goes from basically 300 HP almost dying to half health and more by just attacking and running enemies over. This build makes no sense and is probably one of the most fun ones to use in this game. If I had Steadfast Block, I would have reduced more incoming damage by blocking, but that's up to you guys. Figure out what you want on this build and let me know in the comments below how it all works out for you. Poor Tifa was struggling for HP here, really. Hard mode can push your limits sometimes. Just be careful and stay aware of the situation that you're in. So that wraps it up for the melee version of this build. Now let's talk about the range version that some of you guys might like even more. In this next one, we're using the EKG cannon, which gives us big magic stats, as well as boosts to our critical hit rates and damage. It's Barret's highest magical dealing weapon, and it retains a decent amount of physical attack damage as well. Not much has changed in this build too, as we have the chain bangle still as well as the fury ring, but feel free to switch these up if you guys need to. When it comes to the materia, we follow the same composition from HP Absorb to enemy skill. But instead of magic up materials, we actually have luck ups added on here. This weapon already gives us great magic stats, and luck up increases our crit hit rate and crit damage, which greatly benefits this weapon. Think about it, Barret shoots a gun which hits enemies over 40 times for crazy ticks of damage, meaning there are more chances for him to benefit off of critical hits than other characters who maybe hit the enemies 4 or 5 times. First Strike materia is here so that we can start off in Steel Skin, HP up as well so that we can live longer, and again, HP Absorb on Deadly Dodge. And you might be asking, why on ranged Barret are we using Deadly Dodge? But his animation for this is very unique and super helpful. It also restores a great amount of health as well too. ATB Stagger is still here so that we can get ATB back from staggering enemies. Deadly Dodge on ranged weapons causes so much stagger meter that you will be building plenty of ATB with this non-stop. Prayer materia to heal teammates and yourself. Since you will have full ATB almost all the time, we can benefit greatly off of this. And finally, we have the Bahamut Summon materia again for magic stat and attack increases, but you can put on the Chokamog materia to raise your luck stat by 2 if you want to. When it comes to the weapon cores, EKG Cannon surprises us in core number 1. We get health increases as well as a crit hit rate and damage increase of 10%. Core number 2 gives our ability a crit hit rate of 10% increase as well, and that goes for any ability that you use. Some other buffs in here require that you be at low HP, which is pretty scary to go for on hard mode. Core number 3 increases HP and gives us attack damage boost all across the board, from overall attacks 5% to overcharge 10% and crit hit damage by 10% as well. And on the final core, we have Bloodsucker to heal us back from killing an enemy, and also Reprieve to keep us from dying one time in each encounter. almost exactly like the Wrecking Ball, although I do wish the Wrecking Ball had some crit based skills added to it. When battling with range for this build, we could fight at almost any distance, so start off with Steel Skin and build up that ATB to use Algidora. You could even use Overcharge here to increase your ATB further as well. You can still get in really close and deadly dodge with this weapon because it deals a crazy amount of stagger. You do lose damage going from melee weapons to range, but Barret can still be just as effective in many other ways. Barret's deadly dodge creates a close range sweeping shotgun blast that blasts everything in front of him. The utility for this move is off the charts. It's a much slower playstyle, but it makes your team able to deal with all kinds of enemies, and this way they are more versatile. His deadly dodge shotgun blast is crazy fast, and the amount of health you can regain off of it is gigantic because of how many enemies you can actually hit with this. And then when you kill an enemy during battle, Bloodsucker will heal you back between 350 to 450 health back or even more, which adds up when going against trash mobs or landing those AoE attacks. Let me know in the comments below which version of Barret do you prefer. Melee range for me is the most fun, which is funny because early on I did not enjoy playing with his melee weapons. I didn't see the point or the use for them in this game. But you can still use his ranged abilities, which is a huge plus for these weapons. They really outdid themselves with the design and combat style for these characters in the game. I personally am finding out more new things daily, and it's kind of making me sad because we will have to wait a bit before we get Remake 2 finally, but this is also a good thing because now we won't have to wait as long as we did for Remake 1 since the foundation is here and it's already been set. If they do take their time, they can really deliver us the best Final Fantasy VII experience we could ever hope to have once that open world is at our fingertips. This build for Barret is a bit easier to play since it's more in line of what you guys have already been used to. The only new thing you want to do and add to the gameplay with this is deadly dodging constantly. The stagger you deal from this is ridiculous and you basically take control of an entire enemy mob. I've also noticed that this pressures enemies and makes them more susceptible to being knocked down too. So all in all, it's definitely something you want to add to his kit. I love deadly dodge on Tifa more because of how you can cancel her combos, but Barret's is definitely something you can't ignore. You regain ATB super quickly, so be sure to spam pray whenever teammates or yourself needs to be healed. Many times when you use up all ATB, you will regain it back quickly before you even notice it. And especially on hard mode, it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to healing teammates. If you have other enemy skills obtained, please be sure to utilize those ones as well. Bad Breath can take out entire enemy mobs and gives you plenty of breathing room when you need it. This will poison, sleep, and silence everyone for 30 seconds, so be sure to take advantage of this time to heal or set up your defenses. To be honest, I'm confident in you guys' abilities when it comes to using the full strengths of these builds. If you have any other questions though, don't hesitate to leave a comment. I'm always happy to help answer any questions you guys may have. And just one more time, take a look at how easily this staggers enemies. It's just such a great ability to abuse. Spirit Siphon also heals you back by taking enemies' health, and it has a large range. But it costs 2 ATB bars and only lasts 10 seconds when compared to Algidora. But the two of these moves can stack together, so be sure to use Algidora with Spirit Siphon from time to time in battle. Be sure to check out my enemy skill video titled Best Materia in Final Fantasy VII Remake for more in-depth information on how it works. And that wraps it up for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this build in the comments below. Barret Melee was a surprising addition to this game that I did not think they'd bring back from the original, and I didn't think I would like it as much. At first, it takes some time getting used to it, but once you play around and see the full potential, there is no going back. Against certain bosses, he isn't the best choice, so be sure to alternate your weapon and overall builds to fit your situation. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new. We got more Final Fantasy VII videos coming your way and you won't want to miss that. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.